into it. My first guest is a Rhode Island-based singer-songwriter. She's already had some major accomplishments in her music career. She's only 19 years old. Come on out, Gracelyn Rennick. Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. Gracelyn, thank you so much for being here today.
No problem.
So excited to talk to you. You have a great story. You're going to be doing a show at the Met Cafe.
Yes.
Next week. And I looked you up, listened to your music. I was like, whoa, this girl's amazing. And your story is so great. So let's get into it. You released your first CD at 16 years old.
Yep, I did.
How early do you have to start playing music and singing to prepare yourself to be ready to like go into the studio and record an album at 16?
Well, I'd only been writing songs for about a year before I even made the CD. It was kind of like, I got my first 10 songs and I was like, let's go in the studio.
Record them.
Yeah, exactly. So it was kind of the whole thing, but I started writing guitar. I started playing guitar when I was about 9 years old, and I stopped when I was about 12. I got sick and kind of just gave up music as a whole, and kind of got back into it when I was like 14-ish. And thanks to my mom. My mom's the one that made me do it. And I got back into it, and then it was really kind of a hard transition. But as soon as I started doing it again, it was kind of just like super easy for me.
So let's talk about that a little bit, because it is a major, hurdle that you had to go through.
Right.
I mean, it's a hard thing to do anyway, even if you're healthy. But you said at 12 years old you got sick, and
right.
you had a chronic illness, Lyme disease.
Right.
Tell us about that, because I know how utterly crippling that disease can be, and
right.
especially when you're a kid, you're going to school. What was that like for you?
Well, so basically what happened was going into middle school, I got vaccine injured with the HPV vaccine, and it's kind of a really touchy subject for a lot of people, because a lot of people are very against it. Some people are like, oh, you need
vaccines
to get vaccines.
In general is,
it's a huge thing. So I got vaccine injured when I was going into middle school, and I immediately, like after the third shot, started seeing a lot of like reactions to it, which was like I started having seizures. I had a lot of like joint pains and a lot of brain fog. I lost like half my hearing, and my vision like was blurry and stuff like that. So it was just like, and it all happened at once. It was like, and it was crazy. So what happened was basically my grades started going like downhill, and we tried everything. Like I tried getting an aid, and my teacher had like a little microphone that connected to my hearing aids that kind of like I could hear her better, and nothing was really happening. Like nothing was getting better. And around 8th grade, my mom had to take me out of school because I was missing so much, and it just wasn't working out for me. So I ended up being homeschooled for a couple of years, and I got treatment right away, and I was getting a lot better. And so then I started writing songs, and that's what happened, basically.
My goodness, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So the hearing loss, is that something that is permanent? Or did your hearing come back at any point?
So I was born with a slight hearing loss in one of my ears, and then when I did get the vaccine, it got progressively worse. I ended up losing over half of my hearing, and it did get better. So I am back to where I was when I was born. I still have hearing loss, but it's not as bad as like it was in middle school, you know?
My goodness.
Yeah.
How does that affect you when you're singing? Because I know a lot of singing is like kind of what you hear in your own head, and then you hear it back and you kind of adjust.
I never really found like difficulty with it. It's kind of just like I've always had it, so it was always like something that I had to adapt to. And I mean, it's more hard when I'm recording, because when you record, you have to like listen to yourself in the headphones, and I always have to have it really loud, and then it gets involved like with the recording, and they have to turn it down. It's just like it's a whole mess.
It bleeds onto the track.
But not really like live. It doesn't affect me that much now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you were going through the hardest part of your sickness, were you able to kind of like write or use it as an inspiration, or was it just too difficult at that time?
It wasn't, when I was really sick, I completely gave it up. I wasn't doing anything. I kind of was playing piano a little bit, but I didn't really start writing my own songs until after I started getting better. And it wasn't really something that I ever like thought like, oh, I'm going to grow up and I'm going to write songs. Like I never thought that was going to be something that I did. So when I was sick, I kind of was just the type of person that was like, I'm just gonna lay in bed all day. I'm all like, I couldn't really do much.
That's what that illness is, and that's what I think is hard for other people to understand. That it is really debilitating on a physical and emotional level. It kind of gets you on all angles.
It was hard because as a child, I was very like artistic and outgoing. I did a lot of acting. I did a lot of theater here in like Providence and stuff, and then once I got sick, I lost all of that. It's like I completely like became a different person.
Mm-hmm.
I lost all my personality and all my, outgoingness and stuff like that. And then, it took a really long time to get to the point that I'm at now to kind of, I feel like I am back at that point. I'm still very like timid and shy when it comes to some situations, but a lot of the times like I'm glad that I'm kind of back in that area. But I did go through that point in my life where I was just like not myself.
But your mom helped you too. She kind of pushed you to kind of get out of this funk and this slump, and she kind of pushed you to get into a songwriting class.
Yeah, she did. So our friend of ours told my mom about this songwriting class, and my mom told me, and she was like, yeah, you should do it, like, you're getting better, you should get out of the house and do something. And I was like, no, I don't think so. I was like, I'm not really into it. I kind of gave up my whole music thing. I like played classical piano every once in a while, but that was kind of it. And she was like, no, you're going. And I was like, okay, all right, cool. And so I ended up going, and like it was like a very small class, so there was like 4 people in it, and everybody like played guitar and everybody sang, and I was the one that didn't sing, and I played piano. So I was like, I kind of like out of the loop a little bit. And then like I went home and I was like, I like everybody else, they all seemed like, it seemed really cool. It seemed like a cool idea. And I was like, I haven't touched my guitar in like 5 years, but maybe I can pick it up and try something. And like my first song definitely was not like, anything special, but
hey, you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, if it wasn't for like signing me up for this class, I don't think I would have actually gotten into music again. I would have like gone to college and done something else in my life.
Less exciting.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think the songwriting thing is paying off for you. I mean, here you are, just turned 19 years old, have already won awards for your songwriting. Recently, you won the Pop Contemporary Song of the Year at the Josie Music Awards in Nashville.
Yeah.
Which is a big deal. I mean, this is not like a kids competition. This is like indie music festival. So tell us about how you kind of got yourself in.
Well, so basically, at one point after I had released my CD, I was contacting a lot of radio stations to try and get one of my songs out there, and I was played down at a place in Nashville, and they got me in contact with this girl named Josie up in Chicago, and she had her own like radio station and like on the internet, and I contacted her, I got myself an interview, and I just kept in touch with her, like, she's one of those people, and she had created this whole award show for independent artists. She's always giving back to these people, and I think that's amazing. And we started going a couple years ago, and I was 17, I think, the first time we went, so I was only allowed to be in the like junior categories. So I didn't end up winning anything the first year, which we weren't really expecting much, but like we've seen it grow throughout the years, and it's like so great because like the first time we went, it was in like a small little recreation center, and this year it's at the Nissan Stadium.
Wow.
So it's getting huge, and like I'm happy to be a part of it. Like it's crazy to even be nominated. Like last year when I won, it was like I had no idea what was happening. I was like, whoa, I was not expecting this, So awesome. There's that, yeah.
That's awesome. And speaking of giving back, so you're also involved in an epilepsy organization here in Rhode Island, and you're pretty active in the events and fundraisers. So tell us a little bit about that. I think that's really cool.
So I work very closely with the Epilepsy Foundation of New England. I do a lot of performances at their events and stuff like that because I do have a seizure disorder coming from the illnesses that I had back in middle school, and it's kind of still carried on. I haven't had one over 2 years, so that's good. But so I do work very closely with them, and last year I was a teen co-chair on their walk, and which their walk for this year is coming up in October. So
cool.
Keep your eye out for
sign
that.
Up.
But yeah, definitely sign up and like show up. Like, see, I'll be playing. A couple other artists are going to be playing, so it's going to be a good time. And yeah, I really enjoy working with them because it is like so close to home. And I don't know, I just want to help out other people that have what I have or have it worse, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's very difficult to explain to other people
Right.
who aren't going through it how debilitating it is, and for you to be able to overcome that in an industry that takes so much drive and personal motivation.
Yeah.
You know, it's a hard thing to do
Right.
on a good day.
Right.
So the fact that you're doing it through all of those challenges is
Yeah.
really, really amazing and inspiring.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's very difficult to explain to people too, like, yeah, this all happened. I have Lyme disease and this is the things that have come with it, because people say like, oh no, I knew somebody with Lyme disease and they're fine.
Right.
So you're
or like my
just
dog had
making it
Lyme
up.
disease. He
Yeah,
took an
exactly.
antibiotic. He's
Yeah,
cool
he's
now.
great. You
Yeah.
know, like no, it doesn't happen for everybody. You know,
Right.
They caught it 19 years. They caught it like 14 years too late. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how it happened. And then they're not going to go away. Those symptoms are just going to still be there. You know.
When you're performing and, you're traveling sometimes to do gigs in other states, do you find, any kind of stamina issues, or are you able to pretty much get through now that you're feeling better?
I do have a lot of like fatigue
Yeah.
problems still to this day. As no matter how much like sleep I get or whatever it is, like I'm always tired, and it's difficult, especially to do like a few shows in a row.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do it because I love to do it, so it's not like I'm not gonna not do it because I'm tired.
Yeah.
You know.
No.
But I love it, and no matter how tired I am, it's still like a fun time. So I know, like I'm like mentally preparing myself. I have 3 shows in a row next week, so I'm like. Oh,
It's so
I know.
draining. I mean,
It
people people think, like, you're on stage for whatever, an
Yeah.
hour. How exhausting can it be? But you put everything
Right.
you have
Right.
into that 1 hour, and it is exhausting.
Yeah.
Like I said,
And
on a good
prepping
day.
for it. Like prepping for shows too.
Yeah.
It's like
A lot of
forever.
rehearsals.
Yeah. Jeez.
Am I making it worse right now? Am I like, sorry.
No, I know. Gosh, I have to think about what's going on next week.
No.
Oh, no.
It'll be great. Your personality, I know you said that since you got sick, your personality isn't quite the same, but
Right.
I don't think so. You have some really, like, adorable videos on YouTube,
Thank you.
and you have a great website, gracelynmusic.com.
Yep.
You can see her videos and her music there. So I think you're doing great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we're super lucky that we're going to have you perform an original song. Tell us about this song, what it's kind of about.
Well, basically, so what happened before writing this song was when I first started writing music, I wanted to write country music. That was my thing. I really liked country, and I was like, I'm going to do it. It's going to be great. But as the more that I wrote songs, the more I realized, like, my songs don't really sound very country, so I was like, I kind of have to give up on that. And and everybody was like, yeah, I guess, whatever, just write what you write, and it happens. But the more I thought about it, and this was like recently, like a few months ago, I was kind of just like, you can make any song into whatever genre you want, to be honest with you.
True. Yeah,
Especially if you like you bring it into the studio and you say,
Oh, yeah,
like,
with
I want a banjo behind that, and like it's definitely gonna be country, like, and then you add a few like words like whiskey and like back roads. Yeah, you gotta think of those country. Then you can make a country song. So I was like, I'm just gonna go back to it. That's what I really wanted to do. So I was like, I should do it. So I ended up sitting down and I wrote this song, and it wasn't really about anything that happened. It probably is, because I always write things and I'm like, yeah, that has nothing to do with me. And then I analyze it and I'm like, oh, it does.
Everything to do with me.
Yep. So basically, I mean, I kind of wrote it about somebody who's in a relationship, and it didn't really go very well, and you have to say goodbye for the last time, and it's called For the Last Time, and yeah, that's kind of what it's about.
I like
know,
that.
It's depressing.
And I've heard through the grapevine that this is a live performance, public performance debut
Yes.
of this song. Never heard before, not yet recorded.
Not your recorded.
Go Local Live premiere. I'm going to step out of frame now and get out of the way.
Thank you. Right. So this is For the Last Time.
That was gorgeous.
Thank
oh my God,
you.
that was gorgeous. So Gracelyn, your show is at the Met Cafe.
Yes.
Next Tuesday night. And now you've opened for a lot of, major acts.
Right.
But this is your headlining show.
This is
like
yeah.
your first.
It's gonna be really cool. I find it so exciting because like I love playing at venues that I've seen like bands myself at. So I'm like, oh, this person's played at this venue. This is exciting. I'm sharing the stage with them basically. So yeah, but it's really exciting. I've had the opportunity to open up for some amazing people. So this is gonna be fun.
No, it's all you.
Yeah.
So Tuesday night. You can get tickets at themetri.com. Check Gracelyn out on her website, gracelynmusic.com. You're so talented.
Thank you.
I'm so excited for you. I know great things in your future. Thank you for being here.
Of course.